Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kangsha and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. I salute him again and again. Peace, peace, peace. So we are back to reading of the Bhagavatam, and we are in the third chapter of the book 3. We start that reading of the chapter 3. And you can go in the back so that I can see your face.
Of course.
And then put your mask. If you have the mask, put the mask as much as possible. This is for prevention, protection. So we are reading Uddhava, who was an ardent devotee of Bhagavan. Then Uddhava was describing about the holy life of Bhagavan Krishna. And there we ended last time that he is always protecting the cowherd boys of Vrindavan and also protecting the father Nanda and his friend to protect the people of Vrindavan and Mathura. So that Indra engraced began to pouring incessant rain. Then Bhagavan Krishna raised in a finger tip the mountain and protected the whole settlement of Govardhan mountain. Indra was enraged that he is not being worshipped, and so they used to offer oblation to Indra. So gods are not also. That's why it is better to be human than to be gods also. Gods of their finer jealousy. They also are eager to be worshipped. As it happens, many prestigious people want more praise from people. Then so not that, okay, you are doing like that, should they become revengeful? So that's why Indra was the lord of rain. He poured rain heavily so that this cowherd boys and the entire Govardhan, he raised the entire mountain in tip of the finger and protected the whole community. Rain going out and going out of the mountain, the outskirt. It could not affect the entire community because they took protection in Sri Krishna. And also we read the last time, 2nd chapter, 34th verse, last verse, that in the moonlit night of the autumn session, he filled the place with the sweet strain of his flute as he sported in the midst of the women, enchanting their joys and praiseworthiness. So he played a flute and then attracted all the devotees who ran from their home. So that much, only one line we heard the description. Now Uddhava narration continues in this new chapter, third book, third chapter. So verse number 1, Uddhava said, afterwards, for the liberation of his father, then he, along with Balaram, he and his brother, went to the city of Mathura, and then, killing his enemy Kangsha, by throwing him down from a lofty throne, he dragged his body over the ground. So, that's way the Kangsha was destroyed when he went back. And by that way, he liberated his parents were in the jail, we call in Mathura. That is the same place now. There is a temple of Krishna, very birthplace, where he was born, and his Kangsha kept them under the prison, so that any child born, he can access and kill them. He mastered the Vedas with auxiliaries by once hearing it from Rishi Sandipani. And Krishna, the baby Krishna, in his earlier childhood, he need not have to go for 17, 20 years for study, no? Like Vivekananda we hear in the current period, that his teachers will read and he will listen, that's all. He has not to read the book. Vivekananda's life story, if we read, then we find that Vivekananda is lying down, and the teacher comes and he reads the book. And when he reads, that's done. He and the baby, the Noren, have the understanding of everything, are memorizing that. So that was the glory of Noren in the recent historical age. Krishna was also like that he does not need to master the Vedas. 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, Yajurveda, and what are the auxiliaries? Veda Vedanga, Vedanga, Anga, auxiliary. Shiksha, Kalpo, Naya, Bhakarana, Jyotish, astrology, Siksha, phonetics, grammar, etymology, all these sciences, just by hearing from the sage whom was his teacher, and his name was Sandipani. So he need not have to learn like that. We going for 20 years of our life for getting a PhD. And how much study day and night. But they don't need, only heard it and best, that's all. And as farewell gift of Dakshina for him, he restored his sons to him by tearing off the stomach of Panchagna, Kego. Nipata Tungadi Putunata. He then, the son of this his teacher, Sandipani Rishi, he was revived from the demoness, Panchagna, who had devoured him. His son was devoured. That story I didn't know now, remember now. So this is our mind, and that is the mind of the great mind of this Krishna's mind. So he gave the education. His teacher was Sandipani Rishi, and in return he removed the grief because his son was swallowed by some demon, and he killed that demon. So a Guru Dakshina. People give Guru Dakshina, some money, some other things for Guru. Here he gave back his son. Many were the kings assembled, attracted by the beauty of Rukmini, the very embodiment of Sri, means Mother Lakshmi, all anxious to win her as wife. But Krishna, as if he was the only eligible person invited, took her away as his rightful position, administering a kick on the head of all those suitors, and married her by Gandharva rites. What is Gandharva rites? That means by forcefully, there is a rule that kings, they can, if they select someone to be the queen, that they can go by their might, defeat the others and rescue the lady and make her as a wife. So that is the tradition of the powerful kings, they can do. So he did that, Krishna, as if were the only eligible person, and the Rukmini, who is the attraction of beauty of all the kings, they attend there. She is Mother Lakshmi like Sri, and all anxious to win her as wife. But Krishna kicked out all other suitors who were suiting, no? And married her as Gandharva. That means these are the stories related in the life of Bhagavan Krishna.
What about Radha?
Eh?
What about Radha?
That will come later.
Oh, she comes later.
That Radha was not a, I do not know, the scripture suggests Radha was that in earlier age.
Yes.
When he was in that Vrindavan, he was a boy of 6, 7, 8 years.
Some say, I heard, I read that you say that he was only 7 or 8 years old. However, when he was playing the flute, all the women were married and had children and husbands went to meet him.
So like that, a darling, light, beautiful child, baby child, all the mothers feel attracted. Some are married, some may not be married, some are younger. But it is the charm of the beauty of God incarnated as a child. You know, every person likes the 6, 7, 8 years small children who is all beauty, all enchanting. No, that's a different attraction. But people make him a young man to make it interesting.
But that time Radha was already married to Iron.
Oh, na, those days Iron Ghosts are married, true. But boy, age was how long? In early days they are married in the age. Holy Mother was married in which age?
5 years old.
See? So she is married. But she will not play and she will not be doing something like that. So it is a divine play though, that's why they are so early age. And maybe, but this Bhagavat says, we read the other day, her age was within that small, young age, very young age, young Kishori. That means they are not adult even. Before adulthood is called Kishore in Sanskrit. Teenage. Teenage starts from nowadays what? Teen means 13, 14, 15, 19. These are the teenage. That even if you say teenage, you can say little because 13, that 12, 13 years boy. And the girl is 5, 6 years girl. So anyhow, at least that is this. Otherwise it makes no sense. Why to talk of a young boy and girl making some fun and joke of this play of life? What is that spiritual? It does not make any sense. And we are not going to read Bhagavat, being a sannyasi, to read a life of mundane play of love. No. It is spiritual, it is divine. And that really it happened. The Dakshineshwar, if you can think of Ramakrishna's life, look at that. When he was a young boy in Dakshineshwar, in the Kamarpukur days, all the ladies, all the young girls, they are all looking after when Godai comes. Wherever he goes, they all run there to see. Even Godai is not coming. So some of the sisters, Pine sisters, they are all so many young girls, and they didn't find Godar or Ramakrishna for a long time. And then they will go, they will talk to each other. One girl talks to the other sister. You know, what has happened? Why did he not come? So you go and bring some. Those days it was everything, ladies were put in the inner courtyard. So how to go outside? So they said, one lady said, okay, bring some water from the Haldar Pukur, the pond from which you fetch the water. So they take that water in the vein of bringing water, they go to Godai's house. We can make a fantastic story. Hey, he is going like that as our ugly mind thinks only. Wonderful sexual thoughts. And then he said, oh, and actually he met. She met and went to my auntie, how are you? Auntie is not the point. Point is, where is Godai? And then saw Godai. Then said, hey. So we are all waiting. And that's then boy, Godai very happy. Then he took the water, she took the water and went back home. And Godai also followed a little afterwards. And they entered into the room and danced and sang and enchanted them with spiritual joy. No? So we can make a fun of it because it is history, historical period. That's why we cannot do. Otherwise we will make Ramakrishna a young man and all these ladies are young girls and they are doing something with fun and joy of sex there. No? So this should not be there.
Maharaj, I remember Swamiji said that you should not even think about display of Krishna
Yeah.
if you have an attained purity.
Yeah. 12 years of absolute brahmacharya. Unless you maintain that you have no right to talk about the art or the name of Radha, such pure. And Ramakrishna says, you don't like anything, like to take the attraction, but Radha is to feel for Krishna. That guy, that tremendous love, feel for God, a little bit of that. Anyhow, so winning in the context of controlling a team of powerful bulls without a nose ring, he won as wife Satya, the daughter of Nagnajit. So Nagnajit, his daughter's name was Satya. And winning, how he got her? By winning in the context of controlling a team of powerful bulls. You will be left with powerful bulls around and without any noose, control all the bulls, becoming a powerful person. How you can fight alone with so many bulls? Showing that power, Bhagavan Krishna then got the wife, her name is Satya, who is the daughter of Nagnajit. Then without sustaining even a single wound on his body, he, in the confrontation with those heavily armed by stupid kings, destroyed them who, in spite of failure and disappointment, still desired to get the girl. Then he killed who are opponent people, trying to get that girl, she got it. These are all protection of these ladies, and they are also taught in previous birth, God will be my beloved. So that is the Madhura Bhava. So in the Vaishnava literature there is this spirit. They prayed and meditated, and that's why God played in this way. He, the Lord of all, like a common worldly man, appeared to be prompted by his wife Satyabhama to get for her a branch of the Kalpataru from heaven. The Lord of all, he, like a common worldly man, appeared to be prompted by his wife Satyabhama. Satyabhama is another wife, guided by her, Satyabhama, to get her branch, a branch of the Kalpataru in the heaven. She asked a branch. Satyabhama wanted a branch of the tree which is in Kalpataru tree in the heaven. এখানে Kalpataru tree বলছে. So that Kalpataru tree in the heaven, Indra then rushed in great anger to recover it, because he is taking away that tree. Kalpataru tree, you know, it is a wish-fulfilling tree. If you sit under the Kalpataru tree and think anything, you will get it. Whatever you think, you will be able to get that. So that is the power of the Kalpataru tree. But Satyabhama wanted that branch of Kalpataru. But he went to heaven then. And heaven is under jurisdiction of whom? Indra. Indra is the god of gods. He is the ruler there. Then what happened? Indra then rushed in great anger to recover it. Krishna is trying to get it, and he rushed to bring back. Lo, Indra is but a play animal of his woman folk. Lo, Indra is what? But a play animal of his women folk. That means women, all their housewives and others, they thought, oh, Indra is playful, means worthless, he could not protect. When Krishna took it away, Krishna's valor and strength is so big, probably he cannot protect. So they laughed at, yeah, this is your Indra, this is your power. Ridiculed as it were. Narakasura, and Asura means the demon, who covered the sky with his arrows in battle, was killed by his discus Sudarshana. This Narakasura, another demon, Sri Krishna with this circular disc. His disc powerful. What is it? If he throws to anybody, Krishna will have to do nothing. He will be sitting here. And that disc will go and catch him and cut his head and come back to his hand. That is that type of weapon. It's called Sudarshan Chakra. So Krishna killed by him by the discus of Sudarshan Chakra. Who? The Narakasura. An Asura, demon, whose name is Naraka, who is like a hell. That person is like a hell. Hellish activity he does. So, who covered the sky with his arrows in battle. When they go into battle, he will cover himself. No one can kill him with arrows all around. So no one can kill. But Sri Krishna's this discus penetrated everything and killed him and came back to his hand. Requested by Naraka's mother in the earth goddess, he returned his kingdom and properties to his son. Again, Narakasura's mother, as it happens, mother was so distraught. She prayed to Bhagavan, please give me back my son. So what he did, requested by Naraka's mother, the earth goddess. Naraka's mother is who? Earth, the mother earth. So he returned his kingdom and properties to his son, and then entered into the inner apartments. These inner apartments were full of young Kshatriya girls who Narakasura had taken by force from their homes. Narakasura, why Naraka? Asura? He was a demon. He used to go and fight with the warrior kings and collected all their wives and then bring them and put into the jail in his own kingdom. Taken by force, these inner apartments were full of young Kshatriya girls whom Naraka had taken away by force from their homes. On seeing Krishna, they all stood up and received him with looks in which joy, bashfulness and love were mingled. Though they were all living in different apartments, he held the hands of all of them in wedlock simultaneously, taking forms suited to each by the power of his Maya. So it's like a magic story. He went into the different apartments, found so many Kshatriya girls who have been kidnapped by Narakasura and arrested and kept there in each apartment. And Narayana, Bhagavan Krishna entered and he saw them and they are very much affected by his divine presence. And then Krishna became many, in many apartments. And everyone, as they like to see Krishna, as if Krishna transformed himself in so many to satisfy these Kshatriya girls who are thinking of God, Krishna, to rescue them. In each of these women, he begot 10 offsprings equal to himself in order to demonstrate his mysterious power. So Krishna have 10 girls, 10 children, offsprings like Krishna. All the girls have, each one have 10 offsprings. That demonstrate his mysterious power. By his mysterious power, Krishna created them. Kala Javana, Jarasandha and Salva, who besieged his city of Mathura with their armies, were killed by him through the instrumentality of others. So he is talking about other Kala Javanas. Javana's name is here also. Javana means? Javana. Javana Sattakam hobe keno? Javan mane Musalman. Kala Javana. His name is Kala. Jarasandha and Salva, they are all violent people in the society. It is not that today world is so bad, Putin is doing like that, the China is going to say, conquer Ceylon and this area, that area. Not like that. The world is always like this, demons and good people. And good people suffer, demons will be doing their fun. So that's why the Krishna came to destroy. So every age it is said that God comes. So Kala Javana, Jarasandha and Salva, these are 3 people, 3 demons who besieged his city of Mathura with their armies, attacking the kingdom of Mathura. They are all killed by Bhagavan Krishna through the instrumentality of others. He kills Shambhara, Divida, Bano, these are the names of different Balva and the like, and caused many others to be killed. Afterwards he managed to destroy all those armies that had gathered in the field of Kurukshetra, causing ramblings of the earth on the sides of the sons of your 2 brothers. He was not satisfied even after the total destruction of the Kaurava armies, along with Duryodhana, whose good fortune and lifespan were all fortified because of his succumbing to the evil advice of Karna, Duswanta and Sakuni, and who died on the field with his thighs broken in battle. These are all the destruction of the demonic powers, demonic personalities by Krishna. Only a small part of the burden of the earth has been relieved by the destruction of the 18 Akshahinis of troops by Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna and others. There still remain large armies of the Jodhus having invincible prowess, being led by Pradyumna and others born of me. There is no way to their destruction except that they be made to drink the total forgetfulness, to quarrel and fight among themselves, and thus to bring about mutual destruction. My resolution in this regard will automatically take effect. So, in the war of the Bhagavad Gita, where we read, huge army, 18 Akshahini warriors. One Akshahini warrior is how many? One Akshahini warriors number, how many soldiers? And then 18 times that. They were in the fight. They were killed. But still there remain much army forces, those who are evil-minded. So how to kill them? After Mahabharata war is over, these demons, they fought with each other. One Akshahini is described in the Mahabharata as battle formation consisting of 21,870 chariots, 65,610 horses, 109,350 infantry. So you add all this, 109,000, 65,000. So 214,000, 214,000 and 21,000.
But you cannot add 5 tomato and...
That's true. Army with the elephant, an army with the only sword. But I am saying the number of people I am talking about. So it is a huge number of armies. They fought with each other. Akshayani consists of 218,700 warriors. 218,700 warriors were in the fight. And the ratio of one chariot is to one elephant is to 3.5. That means in each of these large number groups, these digits add up to 18. That means 18 times of that. One Akshahini soldiers means 218,700. Understand? say 220,000.
220,000.
Times 18. That many people fought in the Mahabharata war. And they were killed. But all dead, but still they remain. Huh?
More than Corona did.
Corona did not that much. Did it so much? 218,000 times 18. How much? 218,018. Baap re baap. So that much number of people fought with each other. Still there are many people who have the evil-minded people. So how they will kill? So they fought with each other. Being drunk and being addicted, they start. When they get drunk or get into addiction, they lose their sense. So therefore, they fought with each other. And that's why after Krishna's lifetime itself, there are people, warriors, they started fighting with each other. Even his own family members being part of that. There is no way to their destruction except that they may be made to drink to total forgetfulness, to quarrel and fight among themselves, and thus bring about mutual destruction. So it was first fight between two opponents. When they are all destroyed, but still the warrior mentality, to fight, to tease, and each one poking to each other, as it happens in a family, brother against brother, they become the worst enemy, sister against sister. So like that, these remaining people, they became they became so jealous or powerful to fight with each other and destroyed each other. Resolving thus, the Lord had Yudhishthira installed on his ancestral throne. After doing all this thing, then Yudhishthira was made the king. But the king, how many people are left in the world? Empty kingdom. Most of the people are killed. And lived in his capital city, exemplifying the way of piety and bringing joy to the minds of the friends and relatives. So Yudhishthira, the Lord had Yudhishthira installed on his ancestral throne. Yudhishthira was made the king, and Bhagavan Krishna then lived in his capital. But where is that capital? Where is the capital of Krishna? No, Dwarka. His own kingdom is Dwarka. And why he did that? Exemplifying the way of a king, with piety and bringing joy in the minds of the friends and relatives. The line of Puru was saved by Abhimanyu, begetting an issue in Uttara. But that issue was destroyed in the womb itself by the weapon of Aswattama. It was revived by all powerful Lord. He helped Yudhishthira perform the 3 Ashwamedha sacrifices. And Yudhishthira reigned with the help of the brothers, always depending on Krishna. So he made, it is all guided by Krishna. So 3 Ashwamedha sacrifice. Ashwamedha sacrifice is giving, offering Ashwatta, Ashwamedha as horses. You lead the horse, the king will let the horse go any country with a sign that Yudhishthira is the king of this country. Huh? আর এই তো অশ্বমেধ বলছে. He helped Yudhishthira perform 3 Ashwamedha sacrifices. And Yudhishthira did 3 Ashwamedha yajnas, means 3 corners probably, send the horse go this way, followed by a big army behind. If anyone stops that horse, that king, he will fight. This Yudhishthira's army will fight. And then they will conquer that kingdom and then move forward. That means they are all accepting Yudhishthira is our king's king. We accept the allegiance to him. That is called the Ashwamedha Yajna. And then after that, that Ashwatta they will offer in a Yajna. And that's called Ashwamedha Yajna.
Whatever area the horse will
Go, that part will be the
that becomes his kingdom.
his kingdom. That is the way, same way, they goes to the other's territory. Other kings are there. But that king will not allow. As Ukraine is being tried by the Russian army. They are fighting. No, you cannot do that. But if they fail, then that becomes my land. Similarly, same way, that also the horse goes and the army following him, and the horse is stopped, then war starts. And then they will destroy, or they will be destroyed. If you destroy the other party, then you conquer that land. China did that in the upper part of the Himalayas. They encroached 21,000 miles or something like that in the Himalayan range towards India. So,
Ashwamedha was stopped by Gopis.
Stopped by Lamkus. So, Yudhishthira reigned with the help of his brothers, always depending on Krishna. But Yudhishthira then became the emperor, and he ruled by the power of his brothers on Krishna guidance. And Krishna, though he was the Lord of the world, yet following the way of the world and of the Vedas, lived in Dwarka amidst all sense enjoyments, but ever detached from them and established in spiritual awareness. So, finishing these activities, the Krishna, though he was the Lord of the world, he is the master of the whole world, but being king, he came down and following the way of the world, he became the king of that jurisdiction. And then in the lived the Dwarka, which is still now there, no? Somnath is there, Dwarka is there. And how he lived? He lived like a detached person. We live with attachment, and we cry and weep for that. He lived as a king. It matters little whether he is a king or not. He is always detached from the worldly attachment. He delighted in all in this world, especially the Jodhus, by his charming and smiling face, by his most attractive words, by his righteous and beneficent actions, and by his most auspicious presence in their midst. At nights he gave some time to his wedded wives for love sports in his company. After many years spent in this way, Krishna lost interest in the householder's life, and observing this example of the Lord, no one that approaches the Lord of Yoga through any path of spiritual communion would put faith in the worldly enjoyment which are with us today and gone tomorrow. So what happens? It is that Krishna lived like a king, and he lived observing the examples of his that he lived in the world. He got then detached from this, and he lost interest of even ruling the country anymore. So he observing this example of the Lord, no one that approaches the Lord of Yoga, that means we who are worshipping God Krishna through any path of spiritual communion, to the path of jnana, to the path of bhakti, or to the path of yoga or karma, would put faith in the worldly enjoyments, would put faith in worldly enjoyments which are with us today and gone tomorrow. So they will not be attracted to this, because all sense enjoyments in the world are only momentary. It comes and it goes away. And they don't stay. Rather, it brings much suffering when, after experience of something good, and that goes away soon and brings suffering, then who will be interested in holding on to that type of enjoyments? So Bhagavan Krishna then renounced, and that way he's saying that following his path, all the world will learn that whatever duty you do, detach and don't get attracted to anything in the worldly, because it is today is here and tomorrow it is gone. One day the young men of the Jodhus and Bhojas who were at play insulted some sages, who being thus provoked and angry, pronounced a curse which was in accordance with the wish of the Lord. But there is a big story that one day a young man of the Jodhu clan and Bhojas, their group, went on a play and then insulted the sage. That is, I am not going to that. I know a little bit, but not fully, I forgot. So then the sage cursed, and his curse actually, which was according to the wish of the Lord, because they want to destroy these evil-minded people who are fighting with each other. They are immoral, drug-addicted, drinking. So God's will, they created this and pronounced the curse. Some months after, as destiny would have it, the clansmen of the Vrishnis, Bhojas, Andhakas went in a joyous mood to Prabhasa in their chariots. After bathing in the holy water, there they performed worship of gods and rishis and pitris, and made gifts of excellent cows and brahmanas, presenting various gifts to brahmanas, gold, silver, bedding clothes, deer skins, wrappers, vehicles, elephants and all, and land, and treating them to feasts with many varieties of food in a spirit of offering to the Lord. These heroes of the Vrishnis clan made low prostration on the ground. So after bathing in the holy, after a few months afterwards, all these family members of the clan of Vrishni and Bhojas and Andhakas, there are 3 clans, and their children, they all went and took a bath in the waters and performed worship. and then presenting gifts and others to the poor and the Brahmins, then the business clan made prostration, saluted the earth. So, question is there, but here ends to today's reading. We end the reading and we will start the next day's reading. Next day again Uddhava will describe the last days of Krishna, how his major part of the life, his duty is done, and then he is going to destruction of the Yadu clan, and then he also gets out and telling Uddhava what to do, he ends his life. Okay, Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So there are questions already. Nishan. Question is, Krishna taught Uddhava Advaita, and Uddhava had to teach it to the Gopis to console them. Why did Krishna not just teach Advaita directly to the Gopis? Oh, no. The question is that Krishna sent Uddhava? No. Uddhava went with the chariot, no?
No, if you ask Sukha to focus when he came, Thakur said like that how can we do Jnana Charcha? Because our mind is...
That is the point, but that is Uddhava. So Krishna, when he left Vrindavan, so he came to Mathura to kill Kamsa, the demon. But the Gopis used to love Bhagavan, the Lord Krishna, as I said. Those girls of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, they're so dedicated to Bhagavan Krishna, and that Krishna has left, so they are in utter bereavement. So Narayana, Bhagavan Krishna says, sent Uddhava. Uddhava, you go to these girls. They have no higher education. They didn't go to school. They didn't read the philosophy of Vedanta, and Uddhava is a person who knows all the philosophies of life. He is a knower of truth as also scholar. And if you go and see, they are crying and weeping. So you are an intelligent person, you have the philosophy known to you. So you go and console them. So, hearing this, Uddhava went there with a chariot. And then, as soon as they say this is coming from Krishna, all the ladies, all the girls, they assembled around that chariot. And Uddhava came down and he talked with the ladies. Then he said, why are you weeping? Why are you crying for Krishna? Krishna is a man. Krishna is God. And Krishna is not in any particular place. He is in the heart of all. In your heart, in our heart. He is everywhere. So why don't you... Vedanta says, no, God is everywhere. So Uddhava then started giving this advice that don't be silly. Cry and weep for Krishna. Krishna is not a man. It is not a human love. It is a divine love. Therefore, Krishna is in your heart. Think of Krishna. He is here. He is not a man that you should have to have a physical company. But he is here in your heart all the time. That's the Vedanta. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani chatmani. He who sees me in every heart, and in me the whole world. I don't disappear from them. So you are all bhaktas, be a little jnani. Then you will not cry. Knowing that God is everywhere, why I should cry? He is here, He is there, He is there. He was here in the physical form. He is not there, but He is there in a subtle way. So I need not have to weep and cry. Then the Gopis responded, Oh Uddhava, oh Uddhava Thakur, that means, oh Mr. Uddhava, your arguments are very good, but how we think, to think you need a mind. We have no mind anymore. The Lord God Krishna has stolen our minds. We have no minds, and how can I think? How can I think that He is in the heart and this and that? That means He has taken our mind, heart, everything He has stolen. That's why He is Krishna. Krishna is the stealing everything. Karsati, and Krishna steals the heart of the devotees. So he said that how can you tell us to meditate on Him? You are saying, think of Him, close down your eyes, see the presence of Krishna, you will feel that in your heart. How can I do that? Krishna is no more. Here when he went to Mathura in a divine play, He has stolen our. That means we are not ourselves as human. Our mind is being there. So this is only an external, the structure. External structure without any heart. Heart has been stolen there. So therefore, that is the advice, that is the conversation between Uddhava and the Gopis. So the Advaitic knowledge is not Advaitic knowledge, but it is what he is trying to give, that it is much higher than Advaita knowledge. Here is the question of testing the love of God. Ramakrishna said, I don't want to be sugar, but I want to be testing the sugar. So he is testing the sugar coming down from that level. So I think that is the way to understand that God is testing. Uddhava was little proud that he is a jnani. And Uddhava thought these are women, they are illiterate people, they are having no spiritual wisdom. But it is this spiritual wisdom can come, it's called para-bhakti. Para-bhakti means supreme devotion. It is not ordinary love, it is supreme love. The supreme love transcends your jnana, knowledge. Knowledge is the God is everywhere. There is only one word. But I am feeling the pangs of separation. He is came down, that Satchidananda came down. How can you imagine what will be that attraction? When Satchidananda incarnates in a human body, what will be the tremendous attraction? So, to prove to Uddhava that knowledge is not higher than bhakti, this para-bhakti is higher than so-called knowledge. So that is the first question. Second question, Sarvadevananda ji in the Lila Prasanga said that in this age Mother and Gopala are awake. What does that mean? The other aspects are not active? Meaning, if you say Mother and Gopala are awake, meaning Gopala is the child and Mother is mother. That means in this age, for the redemption of the world, Sri Ramakrishna came to create this attitude of mother and the child and the mother. So this is awake. That means it is awakening in the spirit whole, to save the whole world from lust and greed. What should be the attitude? Mother and the child attitude. No, among all the relationship, What is the purest relationship? When a baby and mother. Baby does not know anything but mother. And mother, whatever may be doing, when she is holding the small 6 months, 8 months, 9 months baby, whole heart and soul is the baby. So baby and mother, that is the spirit. And Ramakrishna came in this age, practicing all these different modes. He said, Amar Matribhav. Mine is the attitude of mother. I am the child, innocent child, and God is my mother. So this relationship is very pure and stainless. Otherwise, tantric practices are there, which is very risky. There is a fall, because people with body identity, their mind will be going to the sensuality. But in the pure state of a baby, just a newborn baby and the mother, what else is there? What sexuality is there? That is the purest of love. That's why this is awakened. That's how, that little.
Here I have this question, that if you say that Radha Krishna was that only child for 6, 7 years.
No,
Not related to this question. My question is that if say Radha and Krishna, they were the children only 6, 7 year old, their body identity didn't develop. And before that, they were just, before body identity, their spirituality developed. And they didn't conquer their body identity and nothing. So what is the glory of that? If you have that thing, you conquer and you transcend it and you attain that spirituality.
No.
That is something.
No. That is something. They are already pure soul, such a pure soul. You know, you don't make every child same. There is some child born with knowledge. These devotees whom you are seeing, Gopis, they are the rishis of the past. They are all Brahma Gyanis par excellence. And they wanted to experience this attraction, the love, spirituality that is developed. Though they may be child. Ramakrishna was child. But he's going walking and seeing the crane, he is in ecstasy. People will think that he has painted. What ecstasy he understands. True, but they have so much practice behind. Anything beauty, seeing the eternal beauty of Lord. How it sparks in their heart. So that is the level to be understood, that they are so pure in their heart that they feel that attraction, pure love.
So there is nothing for us to learn from them.
Yeah, you understand only tie.
Teach us that you can conquer.
You can.
And then you can.
No, you love God with your heart and soul. That is the point. You love God like the Gopis love the Krishna.
But they didn't have that.
I forget that. They ran from their house, listening to the flute. The God is playing the flute. Do you feel attracted? Run for God. God is always playing the flute. Come. Who responds to that call? Maybe millions of people are there. Who is here to listen to this Bhagavat? Why not? Why if some 1 or 2 people come, or even 5 people come? Attraction does not come unless the mind is pure. So whatever it may be, say all children are, see, some children are even 5, 6, 7 years child. They are playing with the gun. Some are with the toys. Everyone child has different tendency. And some is meditating. Why Swami Vivekananda? Will you put him into the same category? 4, 5, 6 years boy? What he is doing? He is meditating with the friends. Snake came and all ran away, but he is still there. He is an adult, 25 years old Noren, or a child Noren. How he got this intoxication? He has not understood anything. But his tendency is that he loves to be tuned in consciousness. So with closing eyes, he used to see the light here. Do every one of us see light when you go to sleep every night? So we have to think that way.
When I keep the light on, I see it.
Huh?
When I keep the light on, I see it.
Yeah, that's the external light. You have no control over that. But if you could just close and see the light inside, that's the spirituality. So that is that we don't consider that ordinary people, because they have not developed, That is not the point. Not developed or developed. Their inner tendency will force them to drive. And drive in that direction. The Narayan's situation is, Ramakrishna's example I am giving. He was dressed with like Lord Shiva. And just Shiva and everyone, he was so merged into Shiva idea, he went into Samadhi. He became in that unconscious state for the whole night and next day. So, what will you say? He has not developed, he does not know any Samadhi, he does not know any technical term or anything. But see the absorption of the mind. Though they are child, though they are playing, but they are, Ramakrishna said, they are great sages in the past life. And they had tremendous austerity they did for God, cried and wept. And that made them pure. And with that pure heart, they felt the attraction for God. Attraction for God does not come unless heart is pure. When I am in the world and I am having fun and joy, what is my need for God? What do I need? If I can get fun and joy here, I am satisfied. What God is needed? Go to all the youthful people, what their energy is being spent. Unless you have purified with that and finished with all these things, understand that these are no more important. Because it is transient, because it is momentary. Not that it is bad. All joy is joy, God's joy. But this remains too simple fraction of a second. And then you forget that. You would plunge into the again suffering. So, therefore the point is that pure heart is necessary to have felt the love of God. Bolun.
No, I was just saying that yes, there is joy in the transient world, but it's not the same depth and satisfying as the one joy.
Right, yeah. That's the point. We have joy, we know what good food can give us. It can give us joy. But good food, how long? Tip of the tongue, food goes here. We are all ha-ha, hoo-hoo, good food, first-class food, how beautiful, how nice, how spicy, how this. Everything goes away. It's a memory. You see something beautiful, as long as you see sun setting, wow, what a beautiful. Sun sets, that becomes a memory. Full moon night, ha-ha-ha, full moon night. And the full moon night goes away, then it becomes a memory. It does not stay with us. And we feel the separation from that joy. That's why the worldly joy which we are there, it is this temporary, momentary. And we don't want momentary thing, we want joy, perpetual nature. The whole life, everyone is struggling for joy and joy only. People are having drug to have joy. People are having fun for joy. People are going to the dancing club for joy. People are going to politics for joy. People are writing poems, articles for joy. There is the joy, is the attraction of everyone in every point of life. But this joy, whatever you find, you see, it comes in a time and goes in a time. So, how can we be satisfied with that which comes and goes? Is there any joy which can be continuous? Will stay with me? Will no one have any access and take away, snatch away? Any joy you have, it is dependent. You need a good food to satisfy your tongue. You need a good music, satisfy your ear. You need everything, anything you need in sensate world. And opposite are dependent on many things, dependent on the object, depending on your mood. Suppose you have plenty food up, you have eaten something, and then someone brings the best thing you like, ice cream. And then it is here. But I cannot take it today. Why not take? You like it. But I am full. So even the sensate experience has its end. It is not very fulfilling and temporary and momentary. It comes and goes, and it ultimately brings suffering. When enjoying only few minutes, before that you labor hard to get that joy. After that joy ended, you go into deep frustration. Oh, now I am not getting it. Why people go to drug again and again? One day they have experienced drug. Why not? It's sufficient. Oh, I got it that time. My mind was very high. And now, not it's coming. Okay, let me go and high. And high. And then what happens? You become slave of that drug. And then that becomes a problem of life and suffering. It does not give joy. People say, addiction. How to get out of addiction? I know it is not good, but I cannot give up. That means you are caught in the neck by that which is addiction. So, shall you go for that? If you are a fool, go again and again, you suffer. And if you are a wise person, you will say, no, I don't care. Love God, contradictorily, those who love God and meditate on God, they are full, see their face beaming with joy. They don't depend on anyone. You shut your door yourself, think of God, and you find joy. So that's why that joy is perpetual, that joy is inspirational. You have a good meditation yesterday, if you sit today, your mind will think, oh, that was good. It feels high. Not takes like the drug or drinking. So these are the things to be thought about. Yeah, Krishna had about 16,000 wives, it is said. Is there a symbolic meaning behind the marriages? I do not know. Only it is, I have heard that he was all these queens or these ladies were kept in different evil-minded kings who were imprisoned in their kingdom. And when the Krishna conquered and killed that demon or that bad guy, bad king, then naturally these ladies took shelter at the feet for protection. And they are all kept under the supervision of Krishna. Probably that's why it is called, why he married so many people. It is for protection. I do not know about more than that. Uddhava story you are telling is lovely, but is not Krishna conveying a different message by having 10 offspring with each lady? I do not know. There may be some reason. I do not know. A devotee is always trying to check his ego by thinking of himself as subservient to God. But for aspirants in the path of knowledge, where one says, I am that, how humility could be cultivated? That is the humility. When you are saying, I am that, what do you mean? This tiny, puny man is that? You are making a mistake. When Vedanta says, I am that, what does it mean? This 5 foot 4 inches height, 155 pound weight, with 2 eyes, ears and hand, that is Brahman? That is that? You are making a grand mistake. You are not the body, not the mind, then you are that. So you are keeping your mind in your thought, I am the body and I am that. That's a wrong interpretation. So you have to understand, real I am that you will be feeling when your ego, this mundane ego, this ego which is talking, this ego which eats, this ego which judgmental, that ego will die. When you are tuned to the cosmic I, the small I merging into the cosmic I, then you become the cosmic I. You are saying, I am that. The drop merging into this ocean. Drop zero. Drop becomes zero. But he becomes ocean. That's why I am ocean. I am not the drop. I am H2O. Not the small quantity. I am that infinite. So that is to be understood. Vedanta analysis, there is a process. Otherwise people will mistake that talking about I am that make you egotistic. It makes you most humble. You cannot think that you are this, or you are some powerful person, and that. That means Satchidananda, absolute, one, without a second. Okay? Thank you. Yeah.
So even if there's no ego, and even if I don't think that on my body or my mind, maybe it's still appropriate to say that we have our own will that can either turn to God or Brahman or away, and even if, again, no ego, no body, but I still am the jiva that's independent and has to turn to.
Yeah, so long you are jiva, you are independent, but you are in the duality. I am my ego, you have your ego.
But even no ego is still maybe.
How can you be no ego and then when you go to deep sleep, you have no ego?
But you're still separate, because you have.
No, I am not separate. Suppose when you are sleeping, I am sleeping. 1 million people, 1 billion people sleeping. At that time, do you remember that who you are and I am? Remember who I am, a monk? You remember I am, what is your name?
Jeremy.
Eh?
Jeremy.
Jem. So I am Jeremy. Jeremy. Jeremy, okay. So you are Jeremy, I am Sarvadevananda, this is Adrija, this. Do you remember when you are sleeping? Deep sleep? No. Your ego is merged, but ego is still there. It is hiding. That ego is hiding ego. And then when you just, somebody pokes you up, you come back to this ego. It is not that like that you totally overcome your lower identity.
But even if somebody overcomes it, what I'm saying this, I think Ramakrishna also said that instead of becoming sugar, you want to take sugar. That's what I'm saying.
That
you're
is
separate in some sense, where you can love God.
right. No, that is after loving God deeply, deeply, you merge in God and you go to the absolute state called samadhi. Then your total ego merges into the cosmic ego. And when you come back from that end, then you see you are pure and everything is pure. You then also eat, then also sleep, they also talk, enjoy, but that's a different enjoyment.
But one person can be samadhi here, and I can be here, and not in samadhi. So doesn't it mean we're still different?
Now, in the material level, we are different. So long I am talking, you are talking, we are different. But you go to the inner core, dive deep into yourself. If you say that don't think of your body. You go beyond. You don't have to mind thinking this thought, that thought, that thought. Get internally, go back, and see, there is somebody saying, I saw. I was seeing that mind was restless. So I is somebody who is observing the fun of the mind. So go beyond. When you go to the last part, then everything is same. But when you come down from experience, then you see the whole world transformed. Now we are seeing the world as individuals. You are different, I am different. That time they will also see the world is different and non-different at a time. How? It is different in name and form. Everyone's name will be different, form will remain. It is like the gold ornaments. One will be earring, another will be bracelet, another will be chain. They are different, but all are gold. You will see gold everywhere. At the same time, it is chain, it is called the ring, it is called the whatever bracelet, etc., etc.
But the gold is really in the form that it is, right? So maybe we can say the Brahman or really is in the forms that he is.
Right. That is the truth. That will come back. Then you see gold everywhere, whether in form, this form or that form matters little.
Maharaj, can you understand this intellectually, or do you have actually to experience?
No, first you intellectually just imagine. We have to intellectually, I cannot understand intellectually. Intellectual grab. You grab that idea and think, does it make rational? Does it make sense? Is it possible you go to the gold shop and do you think everything is made of gold? Though designs are all different. So similarly we see designs are all different. but it's all made of gold. You go to the wax museum. Wax museum, all the actors, their portraits are all different. You can match it. But everything is made of wax. So those two will be coming out in the mind of the person. Thank you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And we'll have class at 7:30, Shanti Gita. At 7:30 today.